How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put out the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about TRCH, Torchlight Energy. I want to make sure I give you guys an update so you know what to be ready for, especially since this week is going to be coming to an end. So of course we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is a technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. Yes, we saw some strength today inside of the market, and I feel this is very key to be aware of. If it does decide to pull back or we end up having a strong sell-off going in tomorrow, I want you to know where those levels can potentially be so you're aware and you are not surprised just in case things do happen that way. And then secondly, we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information. We know this is key. We want to know how much the short sellers are vested in this stock. We want to know what that short volume ratio is, because as you know already, this stock does come with a ton of short squeeze potential here. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's jump into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for TRCH. So let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $4.75, being down negative 3.46% on the day. On the low, it tested $4.75, and on the high, testing $5.77. And as you see going down in the post market, as of this recording, it is around $4.80. So we're using the 1-year daily chart, so we want to see how it lines up with our indicators. So you can see down below at the RSI, it is right around 53, so right around fair value, and it's definitely not deep into that overbought territory whatsoever. But we could see here back on June the 21st, we did get to this area where it was as high as 89.18. So it definitely has cooled off. So now when we see the indicators on our chart here, of course we are showing strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And as long as TRCH stays above this 21-day EMA, we could look forward to seeing some bullish movements. But if it decides to break right through it, then an area of support that I'll be very curious to see hold up will be right here around this 430 level, let's say 428 to be exact. If this ended up breaking through, then we have a big time gap right here, and then the next area of support to see if it would hold up will be right here around this 359 level. If that did end up breaking, then I'll be looking forward to seeing how well it could hold up around the 340s. So these are some areas that you want to keep an eye on. I myself, I still have my shares. I haven't sold them, and to be honest with you guys, if it does get into these lower, even the $3 range and so forth, I'm going to buy a few more because like I said, I've been doing some homework on Meta and I really do like the long-term prospects. But do keep this in mind. So if you're feeling like, hey, you wanted to come in here for a quick buck or a quick profit, then you want to make sure you take advantage of those spikes that occur like we ended up seeing today when it got to 577, or especially if you're trying to be minimizing your losses. But I, for myself, I am not selling. I want to make sure I'm clear with that, and that's the strategy I'm going to have. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Torchlight Energy. So we can see here the short volume ratio is at 29%. So to put this in perspective, out of 136.7 million shares that were traded, we had 39.7 million of those shares that were actually sold short, and this is taking the close as of June the 23rd. As we scroll down on the page, short shares availability is at 0, updated 2 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is not available. But when I looked on iBorrow, it was as high as 649.7%. And they also had 300 shares available, and this was around 3 o'clock when this update did come out. So I want to make sure I bring that to your attention. When we take a look at the short volume ratio being at 29.10, yes, we still have short sellers that are showing a lot of vested interest in the stock to bring the price down. This has gone up from the 26.93 that we had on June the 22nd, and this is higher than what we had on June the 21st when it was at 28.3. So taking all of this this into consideration, this is part of the reasons why this play still has a good amount of short squeeze potential in it. And it's also one of the factors why I refuse not to sell. Plus, on top of the fact that I do like where Metamaterials is going as far as what the company is all about. But to let you guys know, just know there's going to be a lot of volatility due to the fact that the short volume ratio is this high. So for my final thoughts for TRCH, Torchlight Energy, I am not selling my shares whatsoever. But if the stock does decide to pull back, just know I'm going to be adding to my position. As far as what those levels are, I talked about it in the technicals, but one area where I feel like I'm going to be loading the boat if it does get there would be right around that $2 level. But at the same time, one thing I want you guys to understand, do not do this or do not pursue doing this. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but you want to make sure you know a lot about metamaterials. I've been doing even more homework on it, and you know what? I do believe in the long-term prospects. So taking all of this into consideration, I'm going to be holding all the way through. The reason why I want to communicate this means as far as the short squeeze potential that's in this stock, if you're going to say, well, you know what? The dividend, all I got to be in there by the end of the day tomorrow and I'm out. I want you to understand if you do this, then there's a potential where you could miss out. But at the same time, if you do miss out, just know what you are investing in. If you're not really interested in metamaterials, then by all means, you can decide to do what you want to do with your money and get out of the play. Another thing also to understand, as far as for that short borrow fee, we saw it was not available on Fintel, but when I looked at iBorrow, and some of you showed this to me already, it is well over 600%. So the question comes, when are these shorts going to cover? What about a margin call? Something like that. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting on it. But again, we already see a lot of manipulation that goes on inside of the market. So I'm going to make sure, since I'm in this play, I'm going to do as much homework as I can on metamaterials. And from the homework that I've done so far is part of the reasons why I'm not selling my position. Of course, I did not take a substantial position. I only got like a few shares and so forth. And as far as the dividend is concerned, even if I get it, it's going to be very minuscule because like I said, I don't have a lot of shares. But I do know if it does decide to pull back to that $2 level, then I'm going to be loading up the boat. Another thing also to understand before I close this video out, know what the risks are. We saw this stock got up to $5.77 today. So we know as far as squeeze potential, it is there. But make sure you have risk management in place. I don't want you guys being bag holders and saying, well, you know what? I don't even like this investment. Why did I do this? Oh, I'm losing money. Well, at the end of the day, you should have done your due diligence and you should have known what the risks are by looking at those levels of where it can pull back to. So whether you decide to get out of the play or stay inside of the play, I just want to make sure that you're prepared for what's to come. Because like I said, yes, we are looking forward to seeing that short squeeze. But if it doesn't happen, I'm telling you right now, I'm completely cool with that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.